As the old song goes, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. But what if that ghost was a dinosaur? Hello, welcome to my channel. Another Bibliophile Reads. My name is Greg, and today I want to talk about this novel, The Paleontologist by Dumas. Esquire magazine called it one of the best horror novels of 1923. And I selected this book because I want to get a cursed book tour going. A cursed book tour is essentially when a horror book is going to make the rounds through the mail from reader to reader. One reader reads the book and then hands it down the list to another reader until eventually the book will sort of disappear into the cursed ether. And this is the book I decided I'm going to start off for this cursed book tour, just because Esquire magazine said it was one of the best horror novels of 1923. And this is the story of Simon. He is a young paleontologist, and he has just been hired as a new director of the Hawthorne Museum. It is the time of COVID. So the magazine, or not the magazine, the museum is closed to the public. And he goes into his new job, and he starts hearing things in the museum. The caretaker told him, if you hear something, just don't go check it out. So, of course, the paleontologist does have to check things out. But this paleontologist, Simon, he's sort of haunted in his own way. When he was a young boy, about 10 years old, he and his sister visited this museum because they were given some tickets for free. And his sister disappeared, never to be seen again. It caused a hue and cry at the museum at the time, but that hue and cry has sort of died down because he is now 30 years old, so 20 years has passed. But he is still haunted by the loss of his sister. He does not know what happened to her. And so this is a ghost story. This is a mystery story and a bit of a thriller. Now, before I go more into the story, I'm going to have to give you a little bit of a scientific background. Last year, I read a book called The Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs, a new history of a lost world by Stephen Borchetti. He is a paleontologist. And in that book, he talked about a new theory. I don't know if it's a universally accepted theory, but he did talk about this theory in the book. And one of them is that the carnivorous dinosaurs were not solitary hunters, but some of the species of dinosaur hunted in packs, in family packs. I am throwing out that bit of information because it does become important later in this novel. Now, I can accept that scientific theory in a work of fiction. In this novel, Dumas takes it just a little bit further. And I can accept that in fiction. In reality, it might be a bit of a stretcher. But it is important for your ghost dinosaurs, because one of the things that Simon has to do is reconstruct the bones of a carnivorous dinosaur that have been in storage for a very long time. And not only that, he is discovering this dinosaur may be linked to his missing sister. So, did I like this book? Yes, I did like this book. It is a very quiet horror novel. You will not get a lot of blood and guts. but there is a lot of atmosphere. And you do have to wonder that the ghosts that Simon is seeing, are they real ghosts? Are they just his haunted conscience of his lost sister? So you will have to find out by reading this book. I already have the first person on the Cursed Book Tour, and I believe there is a second person already claiming interest. But if you are interested in reading The Paleontologist, I will add you to the list of potential readers. Once this book gets out of my hand, I cannot absolutely guarantee it will make it to everyone on the list, because these Cursed Book Tours books sort of just disappear into the ether eventually. But there will be a list, and maybe you can join the reading of this Cursed Book Tour. I think The Paleontologist was a fun book. It's a solid book. It will never get on my best list of books, which may not say a whole lot for the books of 2023, or it just might not be totally my style of horror book. You will have to read that and determine that for yourself. If you want to join the Cursed Book Tour and get on that list, leave a comment in this video or send me a message to my Voxer account, GEEMONT235, or contact me on Instagram, and I will add you to the list, and we will do our best to get this book to you eventually. As I said, there is already one other reader on this list, maybe a second, and as your name comes up on this list, you may decide to pass, that you do not want it, or that you want to skip and let the person higher on the list read the book before you. All that is fine. All I will say is eventually, I think this book will disappear, but I do hope that a lot of people will get that in their hands and read this book, and then pass it on to other readers, because that is the fun of a Cursed Book Tour, just seeing a book that gets around to as many readers as possible. A few more nuts and bolts about the Cursed Book Tour. It will be limited to the United States, because shipping costs to Canada and elsewhere in the world will be prohibitively expensive. Easily twice to three times the cost of the book itself. So sorry, United States only. You will also have to be willing to give out an address to a stranger or a potential stranger. It's possible you may know the person down the line who is sending the book to you, but it's also equally possible that that person will be a complete stranger. So be comfortable giving out an address or a P.O. box to someone you do not know. Also, to get on the list, you will need to give me some sort of contact information, either the Voxer account or an Instagram account or an email. I will leave all those in the description of this video. And I will do my best to keep that list curated so we know who is on that list to get the book next. Thank you for watching, and keep on reading.